you haven't been living under a rock, you should know that nose breathing is the most optimal way to breathe in comparison to mouth breathing. This is why the mewing trend has become so popular, essentially just nose breathing with proper tongue posture. Now, I have no trouble breathing through my nose throughout the day. However, every time I lay down, I always start breathing through my mouth. After some research, this is where I discovered mouth taping before I go to sleep could actually solve this problem. Now, some benefits of mouth taping are said to be reduced snoring, better morning breath, better sleep, and increased oxygen flow and oral health. So in this video, we're gonna put it to the test. I'll also be tracking my sleep metrics using the Oura Ring. So without further ado, let's get into it.
All right, guys, so it is night one, and what I'm using right here is the Hostage mouth tape alongside with the Hostage nose strips. I've done quite a bit of research on which brand I should get and which one I should use. Keep in mind, I have a beard and also I have a bit of oily skin, so I find through my research that Hostage tape will be the best for this experiment. We're gonna use the nose strips a part of this too. And the reason is because obviously when you're breathing through your nose, you wanna make sure that you can properly breathe through your nose, and nose strips, really for me at least, kind of open up your sinuses. So it's gonna just make that process a whole lot easier. But before we get into that, two things. First thing, I wanna blow my nose to make sure everything is clear. So one second. All right, check. Step two, we gotta moisturize our lips. That sounds pretty bad to be mouth taped with dry lips throughout the whole night. So let's go ahead and moisturize these bad boys. Now, let's put on the nose strip. Across the bridge of my nose. How we looking? Now for the finale, the mouth tape. So there's how it looks like. This one I like because the fabric is like an actual fabric. A lot of people, they literally put duct tape up on their mouths, so they put like some weird tape and it ends up coming off throughout the night. So I believe this is actually gonna work. Here it is right here. I got pretty big lips too. So let's see if this works.
Ooh. All right, guys, night one complete. And it feels weird being able to talk right now, but overall thoughts, honestly, not as bad as I thought. I thought it would be really uncomfortable. I thought, I wouldn't be able to sleep and I'll have trouble breathing. But actually, after about like 30 minutes to an hour, you kind of forget that it's even there and your body just naturally starts just breathing through your nose. Now, according to my Oura Ring app, I actually didn't get that great of sleep last night, only 6 hours, but I actually have a lot of trouble sleeping most times, so I don't think that's because of this, but we'll see as time goes on. Also, another thing to mention too is that this did not fall off throughout the whole entire night, and I think a big reason is because you actually don't want to moisturize your lips. I know I said that in the previous clip last night. However, it was kind of falling off, so I ended up taking it off. I dried my lips off, and then I put it back on, and then it was very stable, and it didn't come off throughout the whole night. So first night done. We got a few more nights to go. Let's see what happens. All right, it's night number 2. It should only get better from here. We'll see. So night 2 was a little better. I got a little better sleep. Once again, not even feeling this stuff on my mouth at this point. Like, it's so natural, even after 2 days. I would say that I'm noticing that I'm not sleeping in at all. Usually I was sleeping till like 8 a.m., but the past 2 days I've been waking up like 6 a.m. So I'm not sure if that's other variables or from the mouth tape. But the thing is, like, I'm not tired. Like, I'm fully awake right now. Usually, in the past, if I wake up at this time, I'll be dead exhausted, but I don't know. We'll see if this plays out throughout the next few days. All right, so it's night number 3. It's currently 8:47 p.m., which is not that late, and I'm not going to bed just yet, but I do want to put it on early just so I get more time, I guess, with mouth tape on. But tonight I'm actually really tired, so I'm hoping that I can at least get 7 to 8 hours of sleep tonight. We'll see. But let's go ahead and put this on. Oh, guys, I feel so rested. Last night was the best sleep I've gotten so far at 8 hours, 13 minutes, a lot of REM sleep and a lot of deep sleep. So I was right. I'm finally probably just starting to adjust and get used to it. Let's see if we can keep it up. So we are more than halfway done on night 4. You know, I'm starting to get the hang of this. and I'm actually starting to look forward to it, oddly enough. Hopefully we get some good sleep tonight. Let's go ahead and put this bad boy on. Night 4 done. Didn't get the full 8 hours I was hoping, but still did pretty good. All right, so it's night 5. You might be wondering why my face looks the way it does, because I just got micro needling done today. So with that being said, I can't put anything on my skin. So this will be the first night we're not using the nose tape to help with the sinuses. So we're gonna see how I do for tonight without it. I think I'll survive, but we'll see. Night 5 complete. I'm not gonna lie, without the nose strip, it felt a little bit more difficult, but still eventually I got used to it. But almost done, so close, only 2 more days. We'll see what happens. Night 6, no nose strip once again. This is my first time doing it without looking at myself. Let's see how I do. So I slept like a baby last night. I think this is literally the longest I've slept in the whole entire week. Very comfortable, didn't fall off. And now I feel like I'm really getting used to it. But we got one more night. We finally made it. Today marks day or night 7. 1 week in a row of mouth taping, and we're finally done. Maybe, we'll see. All right, so my stats for the last day was actually the highest. It was 9 hours and 41 minutes with a ton of REM sleep and also pretty good deep sleep. So at least we ended off on a high note. Now, after this whole entire week, I've also figured out some pros and cons that could be important if you're considering doing this too. Now, the first pro that I did discover is that it actually did help with snoring. I did not snore whatsoever, probably didn't even breathe hard. And for that reason, you know, if you're sleeping with people and you're a loud snore, or if you have some sort of sleep apnea, it potentially could help. Now, also, one of the biggest things I realized after doing this is that it builds good habits after you wake up from the sleep. So since your mouth has been closed literally for 6 to 8 hours straight, whenever you wake up, go about your day, you're more likely to actually start breathing through your nose. And even from a cardio perspective, me, for example, I started doing a lot of boxing. And for that reason, I found myself being able to control my breathing better and actually start consistently and always breathing through my nose. Also, better morning breath is actually very true. You still have morning breath, of course, but to the degree of how it was before, I would say it's reduced about 60% or so, which should actually make a big difference. And then lastly, though I slept rest, I actually did feel more rested. I woke up energetic every single day. I actually woke up quite earlier than what I was used to, and I'm not sure if it's for other factors because, you know, sleep, so many variables at play. However, I just felt more energetic throughout the day, and that potentially could be because of the increased oxygen flow throughout the night. Now, of course, there's some cons associated with everything, and perhaps one of the biggest ones I've realized is that you just can't drink water. So if you're a type of guy where, you know, you go to sleep in the middle of the night, you might get some water because your mouth is dry, or like me, you get up and use the restroom, you know, at the wee hours of the night sometimes, and you might take a sip of water. That is now not available to you. You almost gotta suffer with not being able to give yourself water. Now, of course, this is not like a life and death situation. It wasn't that big of a deal, but definitely an adjustment if this is something that you're used to doing on a nightly basis. And the last con, which probably isn't that big of a con, but just because your mouth is taped doesn't mean that you don't sleep with your mouth open. So if you want actually like proper tongue posture and jaw posture with your jaw being closed, you do have to consciously think about that. Otherwise, though you will be nose breathing, your jaw will be wide open as if you're breathing through your mouth. So that's another habit that you will potentially have to train out. Now, will I continue to do mouth taping here in the future? And that is an astounding, absolutely yes. I have found that the pros way outweigh the cons. I feel like it's a good habit for me to actually do on a nightly basis. I feel more rested, and all the other pros I literally just mentioned. So for that reason, I will continue to do this on a nightly basis, and I think everybody should at least try it out for a week, maybe a month, just to see how you like it. And once again, shout out to Hostage Tape. They did not sponsor this video, but they are definitely the best brand that I've came across in terms of you know, the stickability, us guys with beards, and just overall comfortability. And I will also say that if you really want to maximize the benefit, you got to use the nose strips alongside with the mouth tape. That way you can just breathe better throughout the night. And every night that I wore this with this, I actually felt better. So if you guys want to check out hostage tape, I'll actually leave a link down below this video. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you're new. I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Peace.